All right, how's everybody doing tonight? This is Behind the Code. I'm Joe Bachman. Tonight we're going to be going through, I'm going to be working on a app. It's actually one of the tutorials that I've been going through for Flutter and Dart. Um, with this one, currently I'm actually almost through this app. Um, this is a shop uh, app. Let me get that pulled back up on screen here. So, got most of the app actually already done right now. This isn't one that I'm gonna be publishing. Again, this is from a tutorial I've been working on. Um, but it's a basic little shop app where you could list items to sell. That's got a cart and everything. Um, and right now we're going to be working on adding in the back end of the database to be able to add user authentication. So that way, anybody who goes to the app wouldn't just have full read write access right out the gate. So there's going to be some kind of stuttering here because, like I said, I'm also following along with the tutorial. So and if you guys have any questions, feel free to post them in the comments, and I'll answer them as best I can as we go along here. And one of the things I'm going to work on in the future is actually having this zoomed in a little more. I know it's probably a little small on screen. Oh. Nice thing about this is you also get to learn about Google Firebase using that database system, uh, which, from the little bit I've read up on it, would be good for small apps and stuff. Um, I'd probably look at using something different if it was going to be on a large scale, uh, just because I don't know what the monthly cost would end up being. Okay. So the first thing he has us do is actually change this to a string and set it as auth not equal to null, and same thing here. So this basically tells the app that they have to be logged in to be able to read or write anything. One nice thing about this tutorial, this is actually all through Udemy that I'm doing the tutorial through. This teacher actually adds in a ton of resources to easily find everything. Good evening, Dawn. Currently, it's showing that if I re-ran the app, it wouldn't load anything because I don't have auth set up. Okay. So here's the other bad part about uh, following along with some of these tutorials. Sometimes they're just outdated enough to where what I'm seeing on his screen is slightly different than mine. So, hey Richie, how you doing? I need to find. Oh, there we go. Authentication. That helps. And guess we'll get started. All right, there we go. Looks somewhat similar to his, but we will see. All right, email password. There we go. I hear that, Richie. Nice. All right. Well, that was a quick 4-minute thing. All right, so instead of his usual way of doing this, which is writing out every bit of code, he's actually just having us download what we need. So let's see if I can get this transferred over here. Upload a file. Upload complete. All right. Now let's see if we can find said file. There it is. Copy that. Let's go to development. Let's see, where do we actually have this saved? I don't want the simulator. That's going to happen a lot tonight. Let's see here. Development apps, shop app. Okay. That's what I thought that it was under. Shop app, and we want to put this in the screens folder. So oh, you know what? I bet that's under lib. Yes, it is. There we go. We're going to close down Visual Studio for just a moment, because sometimes it does not like when I do it this way while it's already running. So we'll move that in there, restart Visual Code, Studio Code, and there it is. Authscreen.dart. That is what we were wanting. And sorry, I had to make sure it wasn't a important text real quick. We are going to take a short commercial break, though. There is one commercial I wanted to play early on in the show. This will actually be covered more in depth on Michaela Jade's Tidbits and Scribbles tomorrow night at 8, I believe 8 p.m. Central Time. And then also covered again Wednesday morning on Never Mind the Furthermore with Nicholas Tockert. There is a GoFundMe going on for Amy and John Hale. Amy's a author, creator that's been with the Rising Tide Network. She also has a page on the Independent Creators Directory. They've been going through kind of a tough time with some medical bills, but we're doing a GoFundMe for them to try and help them out. And uh, well, let's play the commercial and then we'll talk a little bit more about that. All right. And actually, thank you, Dawn, for correcting me on that. It's 7 p.m. Central Time, 8 p.m. Eastern for Tidbits and Scribbles tomorrow night. For Nevermind the Furthermore on Wednesday with Nick Tockert and special guest Brian K. Morris, who was the original creator of Nevermind the Furthermore. That one will be at 9 a.m. Central, 10 Eastern. So, which again, they'll be going a lot more in depth on that. They're already sharing links for the GoFundMe across Facebook. You can find them on Michaela Jade's page. I'm going to have stuff up on the Independent Creators Directory for that. And also any new memberships and any donations that are received that are going that come in during the length of that GoFundMe are all going to get donated to that also. So if you're not comfortable with putting stuff into GoFundMe, you can always donate through the Independent Creators Directory, and I will get that money over to there also. So with that, let's get back into a little bit of code here. Oh, I say I got a Twitch viewer. Welcome. So Material Dart is something that's actually imported as a package into every file. It's something that has to be put in. So Dart Math is one that we haven't used yet in these tutorials, which I'm interested to see why that one's in here. But he's going to be covering that here a little bit later in the video. So the route name here is what actually allows us to be able to get from one screen over to the authentication screen, login screen. What you're seeing down here in the body is actually what sets up the look of the page. This will go through and set up to where all the fields and everything line up. This little line of code up here, mediaquery.of context.size, will actually look at the system that it's running on and determine the size of the page accordingly to the screen. So if you're viewing it on an iPhone, Uh, we'll just say iPhone 14, a regular one, compared to the iPhone 14 Pro Max, which has a slightly larger screen, it'll compensate for those screen sizes. Same thing with Android, it'll automatically compensate for the different screen sizes, and even for tablets if I was to put it onto a tablet. So Transform is one that we haven't used yet, um, which is actually rather interesting. And that is actually, it's not going to be dot title, it's going to be headline 6. So, in one of the newer versions of Dart and Flutter, they did away with the dot title and changed it to headline. Headline 6 being the largest, I believe, if I remember correctly, the order of operations. Um, that way it's, you know, big upfront. So this transform is where that Dart that our Dart math package comes into play. Kind of interested to see how this is going to look because I don't know why you would really need that, but this may actually come in handy for some of the other apps that I'm going to be doing in the future. He's explaining what different axes are, which anybody who's had trig or even geometry um, would already kind of understand all this between the x and y axis and z axis. This this is another thing I love about using Visual Studio Code for this is you can actually hover over certain things and it'll give you a brief explanation as to what it actually is or does. Um, some of them are pretty self-explanatory. Color, that kind of tells you you're going to be setting a color for something, but it has a bunch of predefined colors. And the thing I like is when you hover over the actual color that you put in, it shows it where it shows up on a grid. So He's currently showing a long form way of doing it, which I don't understand why he does that half time. This is, like I said, this is a great tutorial, but there's sometimes he just does a little bit of information overload. Or he'll go through and he'll be like, okay, this is how you do this, and you type out this whole long thing of code. And then he suddenly goes, but that's not the way we're going to do this, and it'll erase the like half the screen. It's like I I just wasted 25 minutes of my life to learn something that I don't need. That is true, Richie. That is very true. And anytime I'm going through the code, if you see stuff that's kind of crossed out like that, it's depreciated, which basically means it's still in use, but may not be for much longer. It's been replaced by something else. And the one thing he is great about going through and redoing his videos and adding little notations of, like I caught the title thing here where now it's headline 6. Um, one of the things he put in one of the earlier videos was title has actually been totally taken out. You need to use headline 6, 5, 4, whatever to do your different sizes. All right, so now down here we have the class auth card, and this will actually hold the form. Oh, okay, so he fixed his file. That's good. In the video, he had this as a boolean instead of as a variable. Oops. Richie says I have a Polish IT user support director that sometimes does that. One of the smartest men I'll ever meet, but sometimes he thinks in weird ways. Yeah, and that um uh well, sometimes you need to know the long way, so the short way makes more sense. Yeah, I can see that. Um, but going back to your other comment, I've noticed with a lot of guys in IT, um, especially one of the guys I used to deal with from the Indiana Office Technology when I was IT manager at INDOT. Brilliant man. I mean, just absolutely brilliant as far as anything server related, desktop related. Um, but would way overthink some of the things that we had going on, and uh, would just have you doing the most oddball things to try and fix an issue that wasn't nearly as complicated as what it seemed to be. Um, I'm not saying that all IT people are like that, but especially the extremely smart ones. But there's been a few I've ran across over time that just, oof. All right. So this is what's going to control putting in when you put in the password. The submit validation. And then we have the switch auth mode, which is give them the option of signing up or actually logging in. Now, I'm actually really surprised he didn't split this out into a couple different things, which really wouldn't surprise me if part of this course ends up splitting this file up into multiple files. The nice thing about Dart, as you can see on the side here, you can easily cut your code down into smaller chunks, which makes it a little more manageable. I'm not sure why I'm getting. Just ignore that warning for now. How you doing, Facebook user? If you have a chance, head to streamyard.com/Facebook and authenticate yourself. I'll be able to see who you are. And all right, so we're just about the end of that one. And oops. Huh. So can't apparently I can't. There we go. Delete. All right. Oops. Let's that fitted back in here. Sorry, I had to go delete a message over on Twitch. Had one of the random bots wanting me to sign up to get more viewers and followers on there, which, no. So, had to go take care of that real quick. Hey, Keisha. Yeah. Well, I don't know if it's necessarily you, but I know StreamYard and Facebook have their differences a lot of times. Alright, so we're going to head back into our main Dart file. And we're going to do a quick import of screens, off screen.dart. Why are you there? You go away. I think that's the one that pops up randomly to give me issues. What am I working on tonight? I'm actually going through one of the tutorials that I've been going through to learn Flutter and Dart. Um, After we get through this little bit here, I'm probably going to kick over to some uh, website updates or might just do a general technology chat. Note to self, need 65-inch monitor for the laptop. The code is really easy to read. Yeah, I got to figure out if there's a way that I can actually zoom this in for uh, everybody else. I'm sure there is probably a way, especially if I go through if I try and figure out how to do it through OBS. Um, that way I can kind of zoom in and show people a little easier what I'm working on. Uh, I may have to mess around with that this week. See if I can get OBS working on the Mac. Because actually, the screen you guys are seeing, which I'm sure some of the people watching this are familiar, you're actually seeing my Mac desktop that I have. I'm actually remoted into it from my Windows computer because my Mac currently doesn't have any monitor set up. Um, but I am getting another desk here soon. Gonna get the desk set up. Got two monitors already here that I'm gonna set up for the Mac, and then I just need to get a webcam and for that one, and I'll be able to do everything straight from the Mac, which will make this a lot easier. Um, and like I said, I'm gonna try to uh, go through and see if I can find like something similar to OBS for the Mac to be able to do this stuff on. So with that, we're gonna keep going here, and we're going to be changing what our home screen is. So now what we're going to do is give this a quick run. The reason why I'm doing this on the Mac, when you're coding in Flutter and Dart, if you do it on a Mac, it'll automatically compile everything for both Android and iOS. Um, if you're doing it on a Windows-based computer, it'll only do it for Android at that point. So while this runs, we're gonna run a quick commercial for let's do Cat Rothermel this time.
Hi, this is Kat. During the school year, I'm Mrs. Rothermel, but otherwise, I'm Rock and Roll Art Goddess, writing about my past and filming the present. I need you to join my Rock and Roll Art army and to check out my merch on Zazzle.com. What started out as journal therapy is now 4 books, I see, and an Instagram account to blow off steam, becoming a book, with another to do the same. A short film for a friend. No, this is not the end. Peace, love, and let me art.
All right, and we got that up and running now, and we can see that the login page is up and going. And we're actually going to do this. We're going to do this one more time here because I can set this. No, oh, there we go. to the Pixel 4 and hit run without debugging one more time. And that should pop it up. Really. Should pop it up over on this screen also, which is going to take a few moments. So let's run one more ad. We're going to do Amy Hale's ad again. All right. And now we've got this up on the Android emulator also. Now that, and this is a nice thing, running in the emulators, you can kind of see what's going on. This actually gives a little more context to the auth screen that we were viewing at the beginning of the episode. And what this actual chunk of code does up here, scroll back up a little bit, involving the transform, matrix forward rotation, what that actual little chunk of code is actually pertaining to is the My Shop logo there, which you can see on both screens. Both are identical screens, and you normally don't get that with Android and iOS. You normally don't get identical screens like that. And you can even see with the Pixel 4 being a slightly bigger device, at least on my screen. I don't know if it is in real life. The My Shop app is actually a little larger. That's where the line of code up here at the top for the device size, MediaQuery.ofContext.size, will actually go through and determine the size of the device screen that it's being run on and adjust everything accordingly to that. So just a couple of neat little things there. So back to finishing this up, and he's actually getting ready to pull it up on his. I kind of see why he just had us download the file for this one, because that would have been trying to code all this and explain as he went along would have made this probably a 45-minute video easily. So kind of happy he went that route with this one. And he gives us a nice little thing here, which we're actually going to copy and paste this. So basically what he's talking about is the URL that's used for requesting stuff can't be a string using the latest version of the HTTP package, and it has to be a URI object. So we're going to copy and paste that into a separate file here, just so that I have note of that for later, because something tells me normally when he's bringing up stuff like that, in a separate little just text. That means the next video hasn't been updated. I'm going to have to try and catch what needs to be actually added in, which is really fun when you're trying to learn a programming language. So, new file, Dart. Class auth. I'll pause his video for a second. Change modifier. Should have automatically added, yep, no, that added the material.dart, but we also need to import the package flutter widgets.dart. So basically what this is going to do is allow, with the change notifier, what this is going to do is allow us to update anything that has a notify listener attached to it. So I don't think it's in any of the providers. Okay, so yeah, it is in the providers. So I'll use the remove item here as an example. This is only going to be active depending on whether or not the person who is authenticated, if they have access to remove items from the store, this little chunk of code will work. If they don't have access, it won't work. But that's where the notify listeners comes in, and that's why we do the with change notifier here, so that anything that wants to be notified about changes, it'll get an update from this particular class file. So we're going to have a token. And basically what this token is, that we're going to be setting up, it's your standard authentication token that anytime you log into something, you're getting a token showing that you put in the correct username and password and that you have access to X, Y, and Z. And then that's also how a lot of websites, especially if you've noticed in your day-to-day job, sometimes if you're in a special system and you log in and you don't show any activity for, say, 15 minutes, it'll automatically log you out. And that's where that token comes into play. Yes. And we're going to now, a lot of times when you're setting up classes and stuff, you would actually have final behind it. But because that's something that's going to be updating over the life of the app, um, updating constantly, really, over the life of the app, as you're running it, you can't have it set as a final because it's going to change. So, Rich says that's a really good security feature as long as it's dialed in right. And that's correct. Um, and I've dealt with a few state systems that um, aren't dialed in correctly. Um, the best example is the site manager reports page. There's some days that you can be using it, and as long as you're going between files, at least every couple minutes, it leaves you logged in. And then there's other times that you'll be zipping through different little reports, and all of a sudden it'll just throw an error and be like, "You're not logged in anymore." It's like I, I've flipped between 5 files in the last 5 minutes. What do you mean I'm not logged in? So yeah, there are definitely, it can get a little hairy as far as that goes. We'll start with a simple method. Rich says instead of final for something that updates constantly, I go with time date stamp. Yeah, I think that's part of what he's going with here. He was explaining that in Firebase, the default is a 1 hour token. Um, and that's what the date time expiry date variable is going to be for, is setting up. So for sign up, we're going to need a string that's the email and a string that is the pardon me, password. Now this is where we're getting into the URL stuff. So let's pull this up. We're going to do a search for Firebase auth REST API. And that's the first thing that pops up. Oh, that's oh, they've changed stuff. That's why it looks so much different. This is the nice thing, is it gives a really good breakdown in their documentation. Google did a good job with Firebase, it seems like, as far as the documentation goes. And anybody who does mobile app development, or really anything that has to do with databases, if you guys use Firebase, let me know what you think of it, if it's something that's actually worthwhile sticking with, or if there's something else that I should look into. Because I'm actually looking at, when I redo a couple of the apps that I did for work, is adding in a database system so that when we're submitting our test results, it won't only email those results, but it'll save it into a database that the person will be able to go back and look at to see, in case they deleted the email or the email never went through for whatever reason, they'll be able to still pull up the test results. So if anybody has any suggestions on better databases to work with, let me know. If not, seems like right now I'm probably going to stick with Firebase. And that's one thing I've noticed with Firebase. It loves doing everything in number of seconds for the expiration. All right. HTTP art. The reason why we do as HTTP after this particular one, HTTP.Dart covers a lot of different things, and we actually only need a small part of it. So adding this in just kind of makes the code a little simpler to work with. All right, so now I need my API key, project settings. And I probably shouldn't be showing this, but whatever. Take out the square brackets too. Delete that. There we go. Oops. I knew I was for something. URL equals this. There we go. And now we're going to do an http.post URL body. So this is going to be JSON data. Import Dart. Convert. Oops. So we're going to create a map of email, password, and I almost typed and. Wow. I need more caffeine. Return secure token. Which return secure token is a boolean, so we gotta tell it that it's true. email is going to go with the email there. Password is go with password there. We'll add the line there. I'm thinking we need to add that return secure token up here. Oh, okay. Those got to be between quotes. That's why. That makes more sense. There we go. So, reason why we did async earlier on the first line of this section, so that we can actually use this await. We're going to store that in a variable. Basically, what await does is it halts the code until it gets a response back for this chunk of code. And we're going to make this look just a little bit more like his. Just because that makes it easier to actually follow along with everything. That, file, save. Oh, come on. Any other time you want to play nice, why not now? There we go. That's better. Makes it a little easier when I actually have it lined up the exact same way he does to follow along. And we're going to print something to the terminal for when we run this, which is going to be JSON decode, because we're going to have to decode the response coming back. And we're going to say response.body. And it's just going to keep reformatting back to that way. I love Visual Studio Code. Not really, but you know. Oh, I know why it's doing that. Ta-da! Add your commas and it'll format correctly, folks. See, commas are not only important for formatting in writing, they are important in programming. Alright, so we're going to go back to main Dart here, and in the multi-provider list, we'll do another change notifier provider. That value. Go back here. And the value is going to be capital valued auth. And need a comma after this. After that, this reason why we're getting this is we need we need to import the provider's auth.dart, which that's another nice thing. The quick fixes generally are just that. They are quick fixes. So we're going to go ahead and import that here in a second. I'm not actually going to use the quick fix. A lot of times what we do is kind of a, don't want to say shorthand version, but that's essentially what it is. And just makes it look a little nicer. Import dot slash providers auth dart. Clears up our errors. And for the auth screen, import package provider.dart. Now, if you're wondering why I did it that way that time, it's because I'm actually pulling in a library. So that's why that one is listed as provider, and then auth cart orders.dart products.dart is in a folder called providers. So now we're going to go down to our authmode.login. It's going to be all the way down here. And go to the if statement for if underscore auth mode equals auth mode.login. For the sign user up, we're going to go to provider.of auth. And why is that not? Oh, I need to add it. Then we're going to pass in context. And we need to add import slash providers. Two dots. We gotta go up 2 levels. Providers auth.dart. And this is something you'll pick up on over time. When you're adding in, you're calling onto a class and you get a little red squiggly line. The first thing you always check is to make sure you have it imported. Because if you don't, it doesn't know where to pull your information from. And since auth data is actually storing email and password already, we want to pull from there. So we're going to turn that into a string. So auth data, and we're going to highlight this. I think I can just hit that. Yep, there we go. Oops, nope. Try that again. Undo. And really. Highlight the whole thing, Joe. Then do that. There you go, Sparky. And underscore auth data. So we're gonna kind of clean this up a little bit. These on some separate lines for readability. There we go. And we're also gonna set listen to false because we don't actually need it to listen for this. I'm gonna add async to the submit method here so we can use the await function. That way it doesn't try and keep running code while we're waiting for void. And we're gonna do await. I have a feeling let's do a stop it on both of those. And we're gonna restart it on the iOS device. And while that is going, we're gonna do a quick video for Jody McPhee over at From the Desk of a Small Press Publisher.
Hi, I am Joe D. McPhee. I am the host of From the Desk of a Small Press Publisher, and I want to cordially invite you to watch our show Saturdays at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. On our show, we will have different guests as well as talk about the comic book industry and pop culture. And every so often, I might actually do a drawing session or a 3D rendering session every here and there. So once again, I want to invite you to watch From the Desk of a Small Press Publisher right here on the broadcast channel that you're looking at, whether it be Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Hope to see you there, and make certain that you catch From the Desk of a Small Press Publisher at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. Thanks.
All right. So, oh wow, if I do away with that, I can actually read some stuff on here, but I can't see my comments then. So, ooh, okay, that's just gonna drive me nuts. There we go. That's better. So now that we've got that restarted, I should be able to hit sign up. Ooh. Wow. That token string is long. It was such a long response that the terminal actually cut off part of it. You actually would see the email and stuff that was put in. So now, if we go back to Firebase here, go back to authentication and users, and there I am. All right. That was the end of that video, and I think we're done for tonight with coding. Let me get back up on screen here. And all right. That taken on. So probably about another 15 minutes we're going to be on. You know, I'd love to hear. I know I still got a couple viewers here. If you guys have any questions, feel free to pop in the chat, or Richie, if you're still around, if you want to talk some tech, I can shoot you a link real quick. Let me actually move this over here so I'm looking at the screen that has my webcam on it, so it doesn't look like I'm looking away from you guys as I'm talking. So looks like we got one Twitch viewer and one on YouTube still. You guys have questions on anything? Any app ideas that you'd like to see come out in the future? Stuff that's not on the App Store. If there's ideas you guys have for apps. Dawn, boo! I'm just listening along. So there's my YouTube person that's still here. Dawn, I hope you enjoyed this tonight. I know coding can get a little dry. I think next week I'll probably be doing website updates on the indiecd.org website. I didn't expect those modules to take nearly as long as they did to get through. And I'm actually kind of surprised I got through them as quick as I did, because even with kind of explaining things as I was going along and listening to the instructor, I was able to actually move through it faster somehow, and I'm not entirely sure how. But I think we're gonna go ahead and wrap up for the night. It's again been a little bit over an hour. I am gonna play Amy Hale's commercial one more time again, folks. If you're seeing this video even on replay, check out Tidbits and Scribbles Tuesday night, January 10th at 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern on Michaela Jade's YouTube channel. You can find a link to that on her independent creators directory page. She's listed under the authors and the live streamers. You'll be able to get a link directly to her YouTube there. Also, Nick Tockert and Brian K. Morris will be on Nevermind the Furthermore Wednesday morning. going over the GoFundMe for this, and links and stuff will also be posted on the Independent Creators Directory. I know a lot of the creators that are in that directory and also part of the Rising Tide Network are already sharing it out, and we're hoping to get some money raised for them to help with medical bills. So, with that being said, let's run her ad one more time. And again, you can find links to all of Amy Hale's works on https://indiecd.org. That's ndcd.org for the Independent Creators Directory. It's a newer website that I've been working on to help folks get all their links in one place, have one place to be able to advertise from if they so choose, and also just, have a place to go to, if the powers that be at the various social media platforms decide to cancel them for some reason. So check it out, ndcd.org. Tons of great people on there in regards to authors, editors, live streamers, uh, artists. Jody McPhee, we've got a page set up for him on there now with links to his business, Exency Studios, and I am so sorry, Joe. I know I butchered how to say that. So, and again, also while the GoFundMe is running, any new signups we get on the ndcd.org website, and any donations that we get during the term of that GoFundMe are going to go to Amy Hale and her husband John Hale. So if you're seeing this and you're an independent creator, you want a place to be able to put up your works, take a look at the website, see how we got it set up, and we'll be able to go through and get your money over there too. And if you do sign up, I still encourage you, if you have extra funds, donate to the GoFundMe also, which, like I said, links for that will be up on there also. So Don had a question. Is there a way to put a calendar on the streamers page with the schedule? I might be able to do that. What I could probably do is set up just a site-wide calendar. Being new to the group, I'm totally confused. No, you're fine, Dawn. What I could probably do, instead of trying to set up an individual calendar for each person, as long as their shows are on a set schedule, like Nevermind the Furthermore is every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 a.m. Central. Nerd Bacon with Luke Stone Studios is every Thursday at 9 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Central. As long as the shows have a set schedule, I could easily do a calendar for that. But if it's one that kind of hops around, I mean, there's not much I can do on that, but I have added in a feature recently to the ndcd.org website, especially for those doing live streams. It now, instead of just showing like the last 5 videos on there, I paid to have a plugin added in for WordPress that will actually pull the thumbnails. Actually, you know what? Let's go ahead and we can show that real quick. IndieCD.org. Of course, with Safari, it's going to take it a second. So let's expand this out here. Boom. So let's go to the streamers here, and we'll use Michaela Jade as an example. It's got all of her latest videos with the actual thumbnails to them now. She must not have tomorrow night's tidbits and scribbles. And oh no, there it is. Benefit for Amy and John Hale. So it's actually showing her upcoming one also. Which nice thing is when you go into this, you can actually copy the link and go and view it directly on YouTube. You don't have to view it through this website. The great thing about the live streamers in this group is they're always looking for input from the public. So, don't just watch it on here, pull it up on here, copy that link, and head over to YouTube or wherever they're streaming at. That way you can, I don't want to say voice your opinion, but that's kind of what it is. You'll be able to chat with the people on the panel and everything. Let's make that a little larger. I didn't realize I was still on there. And let's ditch this and this for now. Actually, I guess that can stay on there because they'll block out that. But like I'll use, let's go back to streamers. We'll use Nick Tockert as an example also. So we got his latest streams up here. Oddly enough, some of his stuff is not showing up yet as far as what's scheduled, but again, it's at least got the thumbnails and stuff, so let me go back to the home page. I've really got to code in a button over here that's like back to top just to make it easier to get back up here. On our home page right now, we do have a profile special feature for Amy, which will take you directly to her authors page. And all of these links will take you directly to where you can buy her books and stuff. So definitely check her out. She's got some award-winning books out. And everything should be set to where when you click on it, it will open in a new tab. That way you can just easily, once you've bought this series of books, you can exit out of that tab and move on to the next series to purchase. So, yeah, that is that in a nutshell. Go back over to here. But with that being said, it is about 9:30 Central Time, and I do have to actually go to work in the morning. Boo. But I appreciate everybody for watching tonight. As always, if you have any comments, questions, concerns, reach out to me. Easiest way is to go to the IndieCD.org website, use the contact button on there. You'll be able to fill out the form, send an email straight to me. And more updates are coming soon for that website. I'm going to be adding an actual IndieCD.org email address, so it's not just going to my Joe Bach Tech email. So again, thank you all for stopping by, and I will see you guys next week on Monday, January 16th at 8 p.m. for another Behind the Code. Thank you, and you guys all have a great evening.